All right, welcome back to the Swampy Sports Podcast. We have James Douglas Marsh, also known as JD Marsh, back with us. JD, it has been what I think almost 4 years since we've done something like this. Isn't that right?
Last time we actually did this, Dylan, was when you were still living here in Louisiana, and I believe it was 2017 Baker's senior final season with us,
Yep.
and that was a special one, but it didn't end up how we wanted it. But we got a bright future, I strongly believe.
Yeah, I think that was actually so this background for people who don't know. I lived in Louisiana, worked at a radio station, 1130 The Tiger. We did a whole podcast like in the studio. Really awesome. Great stuff, right? So I decided to go to Oklahoma, move to Oklahoma because I went to school there and met my wife there. And we were still dating when I lived in Louisiana. So I decided to move to Oklahoma. And that was actually that last year was the first time she came down to Louisiana and watched a Sooner football game with us. And her first one happened to be the Rose Bowl against Georgia. And holy shit.
Yeah,
she saw so many emotions from us too that she's still a little hesitant when it comes to sports.
Yeah, I don't think she would go to a game with us.
Yeah. Well, I think I've been to a game with her and she loves it, but with the two of us, I don't know. I don't know how well that would fly. But
yeah, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say this to OU fans out there. When you come to Baton Rouge, be ready for anything you can think of because they're crazy. The fans are crazy.
It is. We embrace it. We embrace being a little bit of an asshole of the fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm getting at is when you're in Baton Rouge, you'll walk past one tailgate and you'll have Joe Lee over there trying to just hand you food, beer, liquor, whatever you want. Then the next tailgate over, you walk past them, and if you're in the wrong colors, they might be too drunk and they might try to fight, or they're talking mad shit. So it's honestly the craziest college football atmosphere I've ever experienced.
I will say this though, it's true. I will say though, like Saturdays are normal. It's like the last one we experienced. Iowa State game with college. With Big New Kickoff, where you got your sign, sat there and put on the show to start the show off. Remember, dude, that was so
that good. That was a trip, I will tell you that. So what happened was I made a sign because the whole time when Lincoln was rumored to go to LSU, I had anywhere between 30 or 40 people that know me and know I'm the only OU fan they know in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So they're all like, how does it feel that we're taking your coach and everything? So I decided I texted Dylan and I was like, look, Big Noon Kickoff's going to be there. I'm making a sign. And I was like, let me go with Garth Brooks's face quoting Lincoln's not calling Baton Rouge. And it got on TV. It was great and everything, but it also made me look like an idiot. After 100%. Lincoln
but I wouldn't be shocked.
What he did.
I wouldn't be shocked because, you had Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, like just staring at you, smiling, giggling. It was funny.
Actually, yes.
It's looking suspicious now a little bit, right?
Yeah, like now I'm like, were they laughing because it was funny or were they laughing because they knew something else?
Yeah, exactly. And man, screw that guy. I don't want to talk too much about him. He's left. He's gone. He's not the next head coach at LSU. 12 hours later, he's the next head coach at USC. So
yeah. So and
boy.
I'll just say this and we'll end it. I'll just say this about Lincoln and we'll end it. Okay. The guy, okay. So I'm over that he left. Yeah. We've moved on. We've hired, honestly, in my opinion, a way better coach. For the job to bring home not Big 12 championships, but national championships to Norman is what we all want. And we have a way better opportunity to do that with the current head coach we have now. But
Yeah.
with that being said, I just wish the guy would just come out and just quit acting like he is smarter than everybody. The fact that
Elaborate.
what I mean by that is he thinks he's so smart that he can do the least amount of trying when it comes to lying, that everybody will just believe him. Okay. And that goes the same thing for the Caleb Williams family.
Oh, that was bullshit.
Yeah. So we're going for NFL aspirations to be the first pick overall. But then again, you're signing $2.5 million NIL deals with Beats by Dre. And then you're also getting on Good Morning America.
JD, I don't think I saw something today actually that showed, yes, he got that $2.5 million, and that's just for a year. That's for the 2022 season, right?
Yeah.
But then I saw something else is that he's like a half owner of like a company now or something.
See, and that's what it is. Like, of course, Oklahoma can't offer the opportunity for NIL the way USC can because of where USC is located. But still,
you don't have Will Ferrell and Dr. Dre going to all your sporting events.
Why are you presenting it like you're going just for the NFL?
He could be the number 1 overall draft pick just off the top of my mind at 5 schools, just off the top of my mind, not including Oklahoma.
He's that talented.
Yeah, he is. But he could get to that point where he could easily be the number 1 overall pick. I don't see that right now from what we saw this year. Like, again, because he's a freshman. He's 18-year-old.
Made freshman mistakes.
Exactly.
He's going to grow and learn. And honestly, he's going to be very dangerous over there in the Pac-12. They'll do very well. Don't get it wrong, guys. USC, just because the talent that he has brought in through the transfer portal and the talent that is there in Southern California, the talent out west is nowhere near what it is in the South, in the Midwest, and all over the country because
they have the speed.
They have the speed, but they don't have toughness, in my opinion, like hit you in the mouth mentality. So he's going to have the most talent, and I wouldn't be shocked if they go 9-3 or 10-2 next year.
Well, yeah, and again, I think it's going to be some growing pains there. I think it's going to be some growing pains with the new BV, era. Maybe not. I don't know, but I think there's definitely going to be some. But honestly, stop talking about Lincoln. I don't even want to get into the portal comments and
I'll just
people from Oklahoma. Shit.
Yes, that's what I was getting at with the portal. Is like just quit saying stuff to rile. It seems like he's just doing everything he can to throw shade at Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So, and the last thing I'm going to say on this subject is, I wish Caleb all the best of luck, and thank you for everything you did for OU.
Oh, thank you for that Texas game. And I'm a very emotional person when it comes to excitement, stuff like that, right? And I was actually about to go on my first cruise the very next day, right? But I was super excited about that. But my wife, she remembers how upset I was that first half. But then she still has a video and she'll make fun of me because there's actually a video of me tearing up a little bit and just still jumping up and down 10 minutes after the game ended. I'm never going to forget that day. And that's one thing. It's I don't blame Caleb for going to play for Lincoln
Riley. Oh, 1,000%. Don't. I mean, he came to OU to play for Lincoln Riley.
He's the model quarterback that Lincoln was wanting.
Yeah.
And again, he's going to do great in that system. I don't blame him for that. That's great. I honestly root for the kid, especially in the NFL, stuff like that. But
what really would have been funny is if Caleb would have actually went to Wisconsin.
Oh, dude. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
Imagine the irony?
Dude, Big Cat would have been ecstatic.
Dude, I don't think he would have done jack squat in Wisconsin. That's definitely not one of the 5 schools on top of my head. definitely a first round quarterback.
But what I'm saying, those rumors that he was going to Wisconsin, how funny would it have? How funny would it have been if he would have ended up at Wisconsin and Lincoln would have had no transfer quarterback? I would have just died laughing.
He would have easily got one. I think it wouldn't have been like a big name like Gabriel or Dart, right? But maybe Dart would have stayed if he kind of had a
I don't think so.
That,
I don't think
Williams
so.
wasn't going to come there. I don't know.
I don't think so. Just because of he got in it so early and he was already taking visits and everything. I think he was like, if you don't want me, I don't want to be here.
Oh, for sure. And I think he'll do great in Ole Miss. But one thing I definitely wanted to kind of go over was the again, this whole horse crap of, all these, way too early, top 25s, coming into the season and stuff like that. But there is one big name in the sports world, right? I don't know if you can put a lot of his, writings, his publishings, whatever, to, a certain extent, like take it seriously at some points. But Stu Mandel releases top 25. And guess who he did not have on that top 25? He did not have the University of Oklahoma, for the sole fact of Lincoln Riley leaving and Caleb Williams leaving. And then Mario Williams and Latrell get burned by Xavier Worthy every single play. Cutchin, that's the reason? Like, this dude must be new to this.
Who's the writer?
Stuart Mandel, I guess Howie's cousin. I don't know.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of the
kidding.
dude. No, dude, it's what the hell? Come on.
Seriously, I mean, I wouldn't have been shocked if he would have put them 17, maybe. I would understand that. But just to have them completely out of the top 25 whenever I think they are tied with LSU in the blue chip ratio for 4 and 5 stars being on the team, which is above 60%. How do you leave somebody with that amount of talent off of your top 25 is what
I think it's dude looking for clout, man. I think it's a dude trying
to honestly what it
relevant.
is, I think, is because I don't know if you've noticed it on Twitter, but anytime he dogs on Oklahoma, OU fans just roast him with the same gif in the comments, and it is the funniest thing.
The sorority girl pick, right?
Yes, the sorority girl pick, and that is I just die at that. So,
dude,
OU Twitter's the best. It is the best. It's so funny. Yeah. Monty Cisco got the Sooner Follow train going on.
Dude, Monty Cisco, that Sooner Follow train, I think is one of the best things there. Some people criticize it, but fuck those people, right? I love you guys. But it's literally let people want to have people follow them. That's great.
I mean, I don't know how, if you go into the deep waters of Georgia, LSU, Bama, Ohio State Twitter, I don't know if there's a stronger, it seems like it's kind of like a family.
Dude, one thing I was going to bring up, and you're right, it's a thing because, the whole Tyson Strong campaign as well. That's one big thing. Exactly. That's what got me into actually following all these Oklahoma fans was the Tyson Strong campaign there, just showing how much they cared there. Right. But then also the whole sorority girl pick of just that, becoming a huge thing. But also it's not just football. They are passionate about basketball. Dude, the Oklahoma softball page has almost 40,000 more followers than a USC football page.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's what's ridiculous to me. But one, Oklahoma softball, that's a machine that I do not see it stopping as long as Patty Gasso's there.
They have become the Alabama of softball.
Did you see how far Jocelyn Allo's home run was the other day?
I saw it from Eddie Radosevich's Twitter.
Dude, that was
where he circled it and said ball.
Dude, that was awesome. But circling back, one thing about this podcast, if you haven't listened before, we get off topic so fast. But let's try to roll it back here too. Of course, we lost some, we lost Caleb Williams and Mario Williams. Williams, right? Williams squared there. Both of those players, great players. Williams, I would say, is probably one of our top receivers this past year when it came to, I guess, being a little bit productive, if that makes sense. But then we lost McCutcheon. We've seen his true colors, during this whole process, right?
That's
he can't take criticism,
bro.
It was bad. But one thing I was going to point out was, like, if you're going to leave OU out of the way too early top 25, stuff there, take into account that the fact, we are losing 11 players to the NFL Combine, which is rather impressive, right there behind Georgia.
Can I say something on that? Can I say something on that front right there?
Oh, you sure can, there, friend.
I just wish we could have seen what that team this past year was possible of doing if we would have had a coach that didn't have his foot out of the door probably before the season started.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
honestly, because the Tulane game, they come out. What was that? Letting Tulane come back like that. I
think he had his foot out the door before the first game?
Very possible. What could have been?
Maybe. Or maybe it was
definitely at the bye week.
Maybe it was the Byron Dawson effect out there in Tulane. Shreveport native right there, defensive line coach for Tulane, man.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you mean. And they came out looking like they were not a champion. They didn't even look like they were a Big 12 championship contending team that day. But it was definitely weird, that bye week before Baylor, right? And that's when people were like flight tracking, all that stuff. And that's when that whole flight tracking thing happened to Baton Rouge and all that stuff started going on, all that smoke. But, like we were severely, even though we had a decent record, if anyone look at it, right? But this was a national championship contending team. We had Perrion Winfrey, who's everyone seeing what he can do, right? But where was that?
I wish he could have stayed and played in Venables' defense just 1 year.
Yeah, Brian Asamoah, look at that dude. He won the linebacker award, the best linebacker award at the Reese's Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Then, man, like it's just
Isaiah
crazy.
Thomas had a good week,
dude. I'm gonna miss him the most, I think, out of most of them. But I just think it's how the disrespect Oklahoma gets, and I don't know what it's from the media, right?
It seems like it's just all national media.
It's true, and I don't know if it's because Joe C kind of does stuff his own way. Joe C is not like one of those athletic directors that's going to around, kind of say yes to everybody, to everything. He seems like he might be one of those people that really doesn't make these national media, members very happy with certain things, right? Maybe some restrictions. I don't know, right? But the whole,
I'm not going to comment on it because I have no idea. But,
I don't know either. But that's like the only thing I can think of, unless it's just Colin Cowherd and his hate for Baker Mayfield.
I think something might have to do with ESPN in Texas.
Maybe
because they have the Longhorn Network, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say that's true.
Well,
I mean, it's just a possibility.
Like well, it's also, you kind of look at the recruits, right? Every recruit that Oklahoma gets, they used to like be these really highly touted prospects. And then if they committed to Oklahoma, they lose a star.
Sometimes I used to have a theory, and I've gone away from it. But if you notice, any recruit that OU got or A&M got, anytime like in their junior year, they would lose a star.
Mm-hmm.
But if they went to Texas, they would gain a star.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what it is I used to think that the insiders who are at practice every day and then like talking to recruits and everything from these specific universities like Notre Dame, Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, USC, all the big, I guess you would consider the people would consider those the main blue bloods of the sport.
The money makers.
The money makers of the sport. Like if they are on one, the world of college football is a lot better, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I used to think it was the insiders telling these recruiting sites, hey, look, I don't think this kid is that good.
Mm-hmm.
And they would lower the rating. But I've gone away from that because if you do pay attention to the recruiting rankings and the 4 and 5 stars, who are mainly your first and second round picks?
Mm-hmm.
5-star and 4-star players.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Joe Burrow who's 3-star coming out of high school, and they slip through the cracks, but mainly it is the 5 stars that go first round. It's really, if you look at Bama, all the 5 stars they get, Nick Saban's had more first round picks than he has losses, which is wild to say.
Yeah. That's an insane stat. But how long has he been at Bama now? Like
since 2007.
Say, yeah, coming up on what, 16? And I'm not good at math. What is it? What year is it? 2022? Oh my gosh, dude. I just realized we went and saw Nick Saban his first year at Alabama at the Independence Bowl, didn't we?
Yep. We saw him play Colorado.
And yeah, okay. It just hit me. I was like, 2007. I was like, that's when he went to the Independence Bowl. Yeah, no, that's pretty but before we move on, I'm gonna tell this story. I actually had a person I worked with, I don't know if you remember Robert McCarty out there. He was saying that he was covering the game there from the station, and after the game, Nick Saban got on the bus and he told everyone to get off the bus and told them, he pointed to the stadium. He said, look at this. This is the last time you're ever going to see a stadium like this. And he told him to get back on the bus.
Yeah.
Well, first off, just be from Shreveport. It's toilet bowl, dude. It's bad. It's bad. Especially, like, I don't know. Have you ever seen the locker rooms?
I played there? Remember?
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right. You did. You share the same locker room as a collegiate football team. That's all I have to say. Like, your locker rooms in high school were probably better.
Let me put it this way: to anyone who's not an OU fan or just a fan of any team, if you get a bowl game in Shreveport, don't come. Unless you just want to, unless you want to just gamble, because we have about 5 casinos here.
You want to eat some great food.
We do have good food. I will put it there.
Yeah, if you want to go there, or if you want to eat some Cajun food, or just go to Hooters on the river, that's pretty much about it. Yeah, we had a great childhood. Okay, awesome. But and JD's still living that. There you go, my friend. But
still living every day.
But no, the one thing I wanted to kind of get an idea of as well is, we were talking about the new era of this Sooner football, right? So, you got Brent Venables coming in. We've got a lot of new faces coming in, especially in this recruiting class. A lot of us are excited about for the years to come, right? But first thing I wanted to kind of go and get an idea of is, like, who do you like coming in? Like, so let's start with, like, returning players coming back for this year. Who do you like coming in for the 2022 season that's going to make the biggest impact?
For a returning player, see, I'm so focused right now. My main focus is the defense, because that's what I feel like need to be worked on the most. And the player that I'm most excited about coming back is Key Lawrence.
Okay.
The fact that he's so versatile that he could play corner, he could play slot nickel, he could play safety. Wherever you need to put him in the secondary at, he could do it for you. And that's going to be a key for Brent Venables. If you look back at all of Brent Venables' defenses, he's always had that hybrid safety corner player that he can move all over the field. And that's who I think Key Lawrence is going to be used as. Now, for the incoming, man, I cannot wait to see Jared Knack along with Kobe McKenzie. And here's my second person that I'm excited that's returning, Danny Stutzman. That's your linebacker core next year. My God, I am just so excited because you got Knack, who runs a 4.40. Mm-hmm. You have Kobe McKenzie, I think he's 6'2", 225, just a run
as
stuffer.
a senior in high school.
And he was as big as Kenneth Murray, his junior year of high school, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that you have him playing Mike linebacker, and then you got Danny Stutzman with a year of experience already playing the college level and a year off season with Schmidt's workout, this defense is going to be totally revamped. In my opinion, I'm making a bold statement. I don't think they give up more than 24 points a game next year.
Yeah, it's a bold statement. That's a bold statement.
That's what I want to see, maybe, but
I think that's what we all want to see.
I think just one off season with Schmidt and Venables pounding this defense into their brains pretty much the whole summer and through summer workouts, everything. I just feel like Venables will have the defense ready to go by the time we kick it off in September.
Exactly. No, I'm right there with you. We're definitely going to talk about Schmidt and the results that we're already seeing from his workouts already. So we're definitely going to get into that. But okay, so I'll go ahead and talk about my defensive side. Then we'll kind of get into the offensive side. But on my defensive side, who I'm most excited about returning is actually going to be I'm excited to see Jalen Redmond in this defense, right? Because we didn't get to see too much of him this past year because a lot of the focus was on IT, on Winfrey, So I'm really excited to see what Jalen Redmond can do, right? So that's who I'm really looking forward to returning on that side. But then who I'm really looking forward to is actually Broken Arrow's own Robert Spiel Jennings coming in at safety. That's who I'm really excited about. Of course, Knack is going to be the mechanic. I honestly don't know how to pronounce his name yet.
Knack.
All right, Knack, is that what it is?
It's Knack. I swear he's going to be the next Teddy Lehman at Oklahoma.
Oh, dude, yeah. And I was actually just going to say, like, he's already a fan favorite because he pretty much just pulled a Baker Mayfield of, I'm going to enroll and you really can't stop me from coming here.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Because I give Brent Venables the highest praise of being the guy of, like, go there for 1 year, see if you like it. If it's not what you like, give me a call, right? Pushing for that narrative. And he was just like, all right, coach. And he just, he said, all right, coach. I'm coming. He said, all right, coach. And he literally just said, hey, coach, how's it going? Like, that's kind of how it went. So that's why he's going to be a favorite. But I'm really looking forward to Robert Spears Jennings at the safety position. Wouldn't be shocked if he plays some corner there. Jinchi Williams as well is going to be someone I'm really looking forward to. Another Broken Arrow. Tulsa prospect here out of Booker T. But that's who I like on the offensive side. But going to on the defensive side. But who I'm really looking forward to on the offensive side is, most people are probably going to say, Marvin Mims, Dylan Gabriel is kind of a new arrival there as well. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the offensive line. Like, I think I'm just like the offensive line as a whole. I know we lost a few of them, but then we had some of the youngins there, just having more experience and seeing if they're actually, because I know that was a big deal when we got, the dude from Broken Arrow, Andrew Rain, there at center, but moving him around, see what he can do. But then also returning last year of eligibility, but then also, hey man, we're getting player jerseys. Drake Stoops. I can't wait to see all the 12s and the Stoops jerseys. In
there will be thousands of 12 jerseys out there.
For sure. So I'm really.
What if he had played a trick on the fans and just changed it right before it started?
Oh, dude, that would be one of the biggest asshole moves in the history of sports, possibly.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like a lot of attention has gone to the defense this year, just because Brent Venables is coming in and is going to change some things up. So that's what we're all excited about. But of course, newcomers coming in, I'm definitely going Dylan Gabriel, because really familiar with Jeff Levy's offense from when he played at UCF. Jeff Levy was the OC there before he left, so he's used to that. Very comfortable with him already. So I don't know if we're going to lose like a huge, step when it comes to quarterbacks. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen a lot of Dylan Gabriel too much, but from what I've heard, the dude's very athletic. He's a lefty, which I think is pretty neat. You know, we haven't seen him in a while.
Lefty.
I'm really looking for Dylan Gabriel, but who do you see on the offensive side that's returning and newcomer that you're excited to watch in 2022?
Okay, so returning, who I'm really excited about is Marcus Major.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude, just Schmitty workouts on that dude. How can he get any bigger? I don't even know.
He's going to be another Ramondre Stevenson. I'm feeling it.
Bro,
So I'm really excited about Marcus Major, of course. I like Bray Walker. I heard he was the only offensive lineman that can get up over 300 in bench.
Yep, that's right.
So
that's really terrifying.
I know, really terrifying. Yeah. But I'm real excited about him, and also I'm excited about Dylan Gabriel as well. He's a lefty, very athletic. When's the last time we had a very athletic quarterback?
2000. Oh wait, I thought you said lefty quarterback. Continue.
No, just a very athletic quarterback, very mobile, can throw on the run, and he knows his offense very well. Honestly, he just from his highlights, he reminds me a lot of Baker.
Yeah.
He might not have the fire and the tink leadership aspect that Baker had, but his play on the field reminds me a lot of Baker. And I think we need another quarterback. We needed one like that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, no. And again, I think that's what it's going to be, changing it up a little bit. And someone that's not going to be, Caleb wasn't scared taking shots downfield.
Oh, no.
You know?
And that's one thing like
Levy's offense is based off of, though, is getting the balls to the playmaker.
Well, 90% of the time, 90% of the time, a play will start with the ball being in the belly of the running back.
Yeah. Yeah. So play action passes, and really.
What's that? We have to run the ball to set up the pass to take shots downfield.
I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard that in 4 years.
Oh,
what the heck's going on there? 5 years now.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying what
the hell do I know? I'm a salesperson for a DJ company. What do I know, right? But no, talking about newcomers and returning players who you're excited for. But one cool thing that Oklahoma's doing, most people probably have heard about this by now because it's really, really dope what's happening. You have a couple other schools doing it as well, but we have player jerseys going on sale. I know I mentioned it with the Drake Stoop stuff. But we're going to be getting like authentic like OU jerseys, but we're actually able to get their names on them and not after they leave college. Like, with your Baker Mayfield jersey you're so proud of, dude. It's like you don't have to wait a year after he leaves to get
yeah, it was kind of funny when me and Chrissy went to that Texas game when it was 2019. I took my wife as an LSU fan. She went with me. She wore an OU jersey. And we went to the OU Texas game, and I had my Baker Mayfield jersey on, and a lot of people were like, Baker.
Exactly. And I think he's always going to be probably one of the fan favorites for a very long time.
He became my favorite Sooner since Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Dude.
Now CeeDee Lamb was up there too. I love CeeDee Lamb, man.
But let me ask you this: who's your go-to for? Are you going to get a player jersey when they're available? Like whoever opts into it.
1,000%.
So if people don't understand how this is going to happen, it's not just every single player is available. So what's going to happen is these players have to agree to be a part of this program, right? Yep. And they will get profits off of it. Yeah, they have to opt in to get it. But there's also going to be some different things going on with it as well. But you pretty much have to opt in to get that. But one cool thing before we get into who you think is Joe C actually said that Oklahoma football is the only one announced. So we might have softball jerseys, basketball jerseys, dude. Like that's gonna be so dope. But but you have other teams doing it so far. It's not like Oklahoma's doing it, but there are some other ones as well. But not everyone's doing it right now, which is a huge recruiting tactic. So yeah, you have, like JD said, LSU, Washington, Penn State is doing it as well. I can't remember if there's anybody else that I can remember off the top of my head, but for me.
And this is my cat Boomer, by the way.
Oh, there's Boomer, old Boomer there. And then what's your other cat's name? Gumbo.
Yeah, Gumbo.
That's like the perfect mixture of your life, man. That's pretty awesome. But honestly, if I had to choose who I would get a jersey for, I honestly think I would. I think I would represent Broken Arrow and get Spear Jennings because one Spear hyphen Jennings is going to look badass on the back of a jersey. To be
Yeah.
honest, that's what I think. Either him or Major. Because I think Major is going to be a big threat.
I actually got 3. Okay,
You're
you
going to
ready
lose
for
a
this?
lot of money.
I'm just saying 3 that I'm debating on getting.
Okay,
honestly. Well, the number one is if it is true what Stutzman claimed he's going to do. If he changes his number to 69, I'm getting a 69 Stutzman jersey. You can bank on that.
Yeah.
But doesn't change his number, then it's going to come down to either Jaron Knack or Theo Weiss.
Theo Weiss. Yeah, I know you. And the number 10
comeback player of the year.
Dude, you and your number 10 in every single sport you ever played. That was it. You were always the number 10. So I can see why you want that Theo Weiss one for sure. But let's kind of just jump in here because we were talking about Schmidt and about to get into the players that we're excited to see getting into his strength and conditioning program here. But dude, we're already starting to see some results, right? So like you said, we had the offensive linemen that some of them weren't even able to bench 300 pounds. What was it, like 10 times, I think? So that, but then, well, first off, the first person, it seems like he's your go-to, incoming freshman, which is Jaron Knack, right?
Yep.
But we've seen what he looks like before. It was like a week or two into these workouts, right? So it's definitely what he looked like coming in. But this dude is a freak of nature.
It's unreal.
He's 18 years old. If you haven't seen this, just type in Jaron Knack, go to Twitter, Instagram, something like that. Don't be creepy. All right. I'm not giving you permission to be creepy. All right. But this dude is a freak of nature at age 18. And I just don't see how he's not going to freaking just explode if he gets any more swole. This dude is going to be crazy. But
like if you took a pen and might.
Exactly.
He's that swole. Yeah.
But then we have incoming freshman quarterback Nick Evers as well, right? And his mom,
get that boy
I think. Thick. Well, no, did you see what his mom tweeted? I guess he took a picture or something and sent it to his mom, and the dude was starting to look already swole, and he's gained 8 pounds of muscle in 3 weeks.
Now, all I gotta say is,
what the hell is he doing?
I mean, does it surprise you that this is all happening when the Pilates class of Billy Wiley strength and conditioning leaves to USC?
Sorry, did you say Billy Wiley?
Yeah,
it's Benny Wiley.
Benny Wiley. Okay, whatever his name.
He's gone. It's fine. Yeah. He was not very good for a college football strength conditioning. I understand. I just thought it was funny. Billy Wiley.
His workout program doesn't even deserve me calling him by his correct name. So I'm so glad we got Schmidt back because you could clearly see the decline in offensive line play because you went from Cody Ford, Orlando Brown, Ben Powers, Creed Humphrey, just all these guys that would just maul over people, were extremely violent. Like Gabe Eichert said, where's the violence at? We need that back. And Schmidt is bringing that back by getting their strength up. And Bill Beatenbaugh he loves this because that's what he came into OU with, was with Schmidt workouts. And that's how OU has been able to produce all these NFL offensive linemen, is because it all starts with the strength and conditioning coach.
That's true. That's it. That's where the mental toughness starts. That's where everything important starts here. But I don't know if you knew this, but if you want to see why I think he's a perfect fit for Lincoln Riley program, is because Lincoln Riley is a lot of flash, right? A lot of flash, plays, going to USC, definitely, in Southern California, keeping it there. It's a perfect fit. Do you know why Benny Wiley was actually famous? Like why he wasn't well known?
Why?
He was a reality TV contestant the first season of an NBC show called Strong. The first season, it was like a strong person competition, and that's how he became like a big time deal. Then after that, he was like some big like performance conditioning company hired him on, and then he started doing like collegiate and professional like strength and conditioning stuff like that. So
we had this dude.
He started off with reality TV, so kind of makes sense.
Dude, like literally, this dude has doing Pilates. Like Schmidt's first day in the weight room, I heard he said, "This ain't a fucking yoga studio."
Well, it's true. He brought the Stairs Masters in, and he's
took the heart rate machine off of them too.
Yeah, dude, that's I will say, dude, he might need to put those back on from what I'm hearing about these Schmidt workouts. But no, and one thing I've heard too is like you've seen Nick Evers gain, what was it like? 8 pounds in 3 weeks, all that stuff. But from what I've heard on multiple different things is they haven't even started the weight goal process. Like they haven't even, because the coaches have been so busy recruiting that they haven't even sat down and talked about, we want you at this weight, this weight, this weight. So now it's about to freaking kick in, but with like chugging. Because I've heard that like Jerry will like give someone a protein shake and says like chug it right here in front of me before you leave. Like drink it before you leave me right now. And it's like, dude, that's insane. Like,
yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see what these guys look like after just one off season.
Yeah.
Not alone when they're getting drafted in the NFL, because I don't know if you remember seeing the way Obo Okoronkwo looked at OU. Baker looked like a damn middle linebacker.
Well, his last year, he gained like over, I want to say he gained like 16 pounds of muscle or something.
Do you remember watching the media day, 2007 or 16, 17, the year we played Georgia, the media days we were watching at Joel's house, and I was like, Baker looks like a damn middle linebacker, because it literally looked like he put on 15 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he honestly did put on like a crap ton. Like he lost fat, but like gained like, I think it was like 12 to 15 pounds of muscle. Yeah. So that, but I'm just excited just to see what this new, era is going to look like. We have a coach that seems to be a lot more open, to people. I heard he had like a, hour and a half long press conference when Lincoln Riley would keep him at like 30 minutes to 45 minutes at the most, stuff like that, maybe an hour. But
he shows that he actually has real feelings for these players, like other just.
Well, that, and then he also cares about the fans, if that makes sense too. He's going to give us information as long as it's not anything crazy. Lincoln was just so hardcore on keeping
You're so paranoid.
Everything in. Yeah, paranoid's a good word for that. Like he did not want anything to get out at all. Like if someone was hurt, it was always, and it wasn't very well communicated, because you would have, Alex Grinch saying, "Oh yeah, he's probably going to play. He's probably going to play this week." And then Lincoln, and when he get asked, it would just be, I don't know. We just got to take it day by day. And that's the same answer you would freaking get every day,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much all we've got. We do have spring, practices coming up here in the next couple of months. You need to look about coming up here. Let's go to that spring game, because I wouldn't be shocked if this is like a 50,000, 60,000, 5,000. I don't know. I don't know if we'll pack out the entire stadium, but I feel like there's going to be a lot more attendees this year. But there always seems to be like really crappy weather for these spring games, though. Yeah. I will say that.
Well, what are you most excited about, like seeing
in the spring games? Of course, it's Gabriel, right? Everyone's going to see what the quarterback's going to be like, especially after this year, right? So, him. I don't think we're going to see too many things. I guess we'll start to get ideas of like really how fast Knack is, right? I'm looking forward to, like I said, Williams and Spears Jennings, in the secondary. But I think a big thing, like I said, is I don't know if we're going to see too much of it in the spring game, but the offensive line, seeing how much bigger and stronger they might look, in full pads as well. But then also, seeing, I don't know if we're going to see if discipline's got any better, like remembering their blocking assignments, because that was a big issue last year.
It was.
I had no idea what was going on, according to Gabe Eichert, right? Listening to the podcast and listen to him, on the radios, the radio call, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I would say offensive line, and then the new secondary of Williams and Spear Jennings.
Yeah. So what you're saying with Gabe Eichert is get to stretch plays, like get out of these complicated run schemes that NFL teams don't even run. Like that's what I want to get away from. Get more stretch plays. Like give these athletic running backs a chance to hit the outside and go. That's what I want to get back to. And one thing I am ready to see is a whole offseason winter workouts and everything with Schmidt. I want to see the team get back to having grit, nasty to them. And that's what I'm so excited about for the upcoming fall, is to see how nasty this team it gets.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I understand, because that's when we had some hard hitting players, was when you had, and again, I understand Venables is the head man, so it's going to be what he wants, right? He's not going to be the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see, maybe not the spring game, he might show it, right? But I'm ready to see because even last year, like, is Brent Venables going to be that energetic guy that still needs the hold? Is he going to be the same person that needs a holdback guy, right? Is he going to have someone on staff? One of the
that man ain't changing. I can tell you that.
I hope not, because I think that's what most players want from him, right? But as a head coach, you do have to kind of be a little bit more. You can't just focus on the defense like he was able to as a defensive coordinator. You have to pay attention to the whole game. Certain situations, kind of, be 4 or 5 steps ahead.
And that might be where you were talking about Oklahoma has some slip ups, some setbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to learn how to be a head coach. Yes, but I think he's great at adjusting to situations, and I think he will do a fantastic job adjusting to being a head coach. And he will. So
yeah.
He will. I feel like he will lean on Bob Stoops a lot for advice. And
True.
Bob, Hall of Fame head coach, there to give you advice. Like
program
guy.
Yeah, dude. That's one thing I've loved about Bob, is that he still lives in Norman. He still has all this. Dude, the fact that he just went up and recruited on like 3 hours notice was just like, dude, that's the guy, man. That's just the guy. That's awesome. But
yeah,
you think Venables is going to make the assistants wear those stupid like lime green hats that stand out on the sideline, like he did at Clemson?
Problem with it? I don't have a problem.
I just think it's weird, bro. I understand why you're doing it, but man, that's some weird stuff. But all right, man.
No, I don't have a problem with it, because doing it, it's because I remember playing in high school. We did hurry up one time. It was against Parkway my senior year. God. And I looked over for the sideline. I couldn't find my coach for a second. And something that would have stood out would have helped a whole lot. So I understand it. Like, I totally on board with it.
Who called plays for you?
Gidry.
Gidry did? Okay. That was
bam.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, well, last thing before we wrap it up here, we do have the biggest day in American. Oh my God! Did I just have an earthquake or something?
You all right up there? The bobblehead is moving behind you.
Okay. Anyway, I think that having this being Super Bowl weekend here, right?
Games tomorrow, baby.
Quick predictions, man. We're just gonna go right to it.
You first.
Realist, bro. I'm rooting for Joe Burrow. I'm rooting for the Bengals, underdogs, right? But yeah. I think that Rams defense, especially that defensive line. Again, I don't know exactly how well the offensive line. They're going to have to play one of the best games right, to go up against Aaron Donald, Von Miller. I think that defense can be a little bit overwhelming. I think it'll be a close game. Might kind of pull away at the end, but I say 27-14 Rams.
27-14 Rams. Okay.
Hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. I think the Rams will be leading at halftime, but dude, there's just something like I get all that. Like,
Yeah.
Bengals offensive line, terrible. Like, they're not good. And that's their Achilles heel. They got Von Miller, they got Leonard Floyd, they got Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
They got Jalen Ramsey, they got Cooper Kupp, they got OBJ, they got the Prince of Niagara. They got them all. Like, I'm okay. Like, I understand that, but there's just something about that man, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He absolutely made me. I don't even want to relive.
I've never hated LSU ever in my life until
you didn't watch that game with 15 LSU fans.
You did not. I tried to come down to make sure you weren't the only one at that party. It just didn't work out. Oh, and by the way, I missed half that game, thank God, because we were under a tornado warning. So
yeah, Chrissy had to come get me before halftime. Like, I couldn't stay over there anymore.
No,
it was that bad.
That was bad. What's your prediction?
There's just something about Joe Burrow. I got Bengals winning on a walk-off field goal, 34-31.
Wow, walk-off field goal? Oh my! This is Simpsons, isn't it? You're going with the Simpsons.
I am going with the Simpsons. 34-31, and I might just have a little wager on the Bengals. So,
all right, that might be it. Well, other than that, guys, it's awesome. Jay, isn't it awesome being back? First time in like 4 years.
Man, I love it. I'm glad we're back to doing this. I can't wait for the fall to start predicting games.
Oh, dude, we're gonna be doing that. Yeah, explain to them what we do every single year.
So, me.
Well, first off, let's not forget this. We do have this that we do every year as well.
Yes.
We get the Feel Steel college football book and predict that. But pretty much as JD's pulling it up. No, you're not pulling it up. No, Jay, we're not talking about this year. This year was different. I was moving into a house, all that stuff. But every year, what happens is we have me, JD, and then I'm assuming in the fall we have our boy Gonzo, Chase Gonzalez, that will probably come on the show here with us. We're probably going to make him do it. But
this is where we will start making our picks again. But through Bowl Mania, we went week 1 all the way through Bowl Mania. We do spread picks and we do straight up picks. For example, give me just 1 second. For a spread pick,
SJD's like sitting here being quiet. I'm going to defend myself here. This was the busiest year I've ever had work-wise. Okay, so next year you get your ass getting your ass handed to you.
Anything that is 12 points or more spread-wise, typically, okay, it's in between 10 and 12 points is what I decide is a spread pick and not a straight-up money line pick. So when Alabama's playing South Carolina, that's a spread pick. When OU's playing Kansas, it's a spread pick and not a straight up pick. So for the past couple of years, me and Dylan and my friend Gonzo have been doing this. And to update on y'all, the final standings from this past season in straight money line picks, Dylan finished in third with a 149 and 137 record. Gonzo finished in second with a 152 and 134 record. And myself finished in first with a 166 and 120 record.
It's rigged, Jerry. It's rigged.
And in spread, Gonzo finished first, went 66 and 62. I finished in second, went 64 and 64. And Dylan finished in third, going 62 and 66.
Not a gambling guy. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I'm a picks guy because I remember the first year we did this, I whooped you. That was back when we were doing the podcast, like the last year we were doing that. So guess what? We're back to this. I can't embarrass myself now. So, but you just did it for me. So I appreciate that. But But other than that, guys, well, hey, we are done here. Looking forward to next episode. Try to do it maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever we can do, guys. But love talking Sooner sports with my brother here. We'll talk other, college sports as well as things start getting a little bit closer. But other than that, guys, we are good to go. JD, any last words?
Go Bengals.
Go Bengals. As Jackie Moon says, ELE. Everybody love everybody.
Peace.